What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about happiness and the super simple thing I discovered that basically cracked the happiness code for me. After you learn this and let it sit with yourself, I know that if you really resonate with this and let this sit with you, you will find a lot more happiness in your life, a lot more abundance in your life, and you will realize how simple life actually truly is. And for me, I had this realization probably like 5 or 6 months ago while I was solo backpacking through Southeast Asia. If you don't know my story, well, I kind of got to this place to where it's like I wasn't empty. Actually, no, I was a little empty. I just wasn't completely happy. It was like I was just in this derp state of mind. And I was kind of just at this place where I'm just like asking myself, is this it? What else is there? Why don't I feel this happiness and joy? I've been sober from alcohol for going on 3 years. And don't get me wrong, like quitting alcohol was a huge game changer in me discovering a lot of just pure happiness and inner joy. Let's not discount that. But after the initial work and like the 1 to 2 years of like, quitting alcohol, getting sober and really just reconstructing my lifestyle and getting into some really good habits, even though life was good, it wasn't great. It was, I think that's the best way to describe it. Life was good. It was like right here, but it wasn't right here. And I couldn't figure out where the disconnect was to actually get to this place, And like, I'm making up all these stories in my mind, like maybe the answer is, a relationship, or maybe it's this YouTube channel being successful, or maybe it's achieving a 6-figure business and making a ton of money so I don't have to be a registered nurse anymore in the States. And I'm having all these ideas of things that I should achieve or become to kind of get to that next level, to get to this place where I really feel that pure bliss, joy, happiness. And like I said, life wasn't bad by any means. It was kind of like, it was okay. Life was okay, but it felt a little boring, a little stale. And then I went on this trip and I had so many epiphanies and realizations by unplugging from the matrix and unplugging from the real world, and really just sitting alone with my thoughts, meditating a lot, meeting new people from different cultures, different backgrounds, drifting around, not knowing where the wind was going to take me or what city I was going to end up in next. And after doing that for 4 or 5 months, things eventually shifted. And I had this insane realization. Because when it comes to the topic of happiness, especially in today's culture, we are very much addicted to always thinking happiness is in the future. And we have a lot of mistakes about what actually will, in fact, make us happy. So the thing is, we get locked into all these ideologies and ideas. And the thing with like self-development and self-help, I love it to death. It's very good. Like if you are someone who has never gotten into self-improvement, self-help, mastering your habits, reading books, self-discovery, personal growth, spirituality, it's a game changer for your entire life. Like if you are someone who's never been into it and you find this stuff out, then it's just like, whoa, it opens up Pandora's box to what's possible for you. You can actually become the person you want to be. And it's so exciting. But the thing is, it's almost like going into this tunnel. And a lot of people stay in the tunnel and never get out or pause to just embrace where they are and how far they've come. We get addicted and locked into these mentalities like, I need a 6-figure business to be happy. I need a perfect relationship to be happy. I need a ton of money to be happy. I need a perfect aesthetic body and 6-pack abs, and then I'll be happy. When I have my Ferrari, I'll be happy. When I have my own place, I'll be happy. When blah, 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 I'll be happy. And the craziest part is, guys, is that I've got a ton of goals, dreams, ambitions. But a lot of them I have not achieved yet, and I may never achieve them. So how did I find this like bliss and this joy and this happiness and contentment with just the way the world is today without any of those things? No, I don't have the perfect relationship. No, I don't have a 6-figure business. No, I haven't achieved all my wildest dreams. And if you do know me and you watched my last video, I just posted a video debating even quitting YouTube because I'm struggling to find my audience on here. And it's kind of just been a hassle. So yeah, even the YouTube thing is really not working out how I planned. But even though all of this is going on and I haven't achieved any of these dreams and ambitions for myself, like why am I pretty fucking happy and just good with the way the world is? And the answer is simple. All of these roads eventually will lead to the same place. Whether you make $1 million and then discover, whoa, that felt good for like a week or two, but that actually didn't fill the void in my soul or make me happy. Or whether you do get that perfect relationship, but then it falls apart because you realize you never did the work to make sure you were whole and complete first. And the answer is quite simple. The key in the happiness code is as simple as 2 words, guys. Just be. That is literally the answer to all the answers in all the situations is just be. Something's going wrong. Just be with it. Do your best. Forget the rest. You're not where you want to be yet. Just be. Enjoy this moment. Breathe, meditate, ground yourself into reality. I should be this thing, or I should be that thing, or I should be successful, or I should meet X benchmark by X age. We have these timelines for ourselves. Ridiculous. I should be married by X age. I should be doing this by X age. I should be making this money by X age. And the thing is, like, timelines are not linear for anybody. Everybody reaches where they're meant to be at their own pace. And I genuinely believe that wherever you are in the world right now is exactly where you're meant to be, but not just geographically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You watching this video, this was the moment in time you were meant to connect with me here on this camera. And it's exactly where you're meant to be on your journey. This whole thing is a journey, but we rob ourselves of joy and contentment because we're always placing that emphasis on needing that thing. Hustle culture, hustle culture is so bad, especially in America these days. Like, I need to grind. I need 1 million followers. I need to have a side hustle, 6-figure business. I need this, and then I can feel validated or worthy. But the thing is, as long as you're placing your self-worth and validation on the external and not something internal, you will always be a victim to that thing. If the money goes, so does your self-worth. If the body goes, so does your self-worth. If the relationship goes, so does your self-worth. But if self-worth comes from internal, which is hard to do, easier said than done, but a big way of discovering that is just really surrendering and that idea of just be in the moment where you are, as you are, perfectly imperfect, flaws and insecurities. The thing is, there's nowhere else for you to be, guys. There's a lot of things you can go for in this life. We're here for a reason. We have a job to decide what mission we want to embark on, what joys we want to feel, what pleasures we want to have. That's our right to do until we die. But we don't have to meet any of those criteria or benchmarks to be happy today, because you have the right always to just be in the moment. Don't get addicted to just thinking like, oh man, if I was like this way, or if I was that way, or if I was this way, like, no, none of that matters. You're perfect as you are today. And even if you are imperfect, which I can 100% guarantee you, all of you guys watching this are not perfect, because I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect. But the greatest thing you can realize is that nobody's perfect. The world is not a perfect place. So surrender and just be as you are today. That doesn't mean you don't work on yourself. That doesn't mean you don't try to improve yourself. That doesn't mean you don't try to fix what can be fixed in your life. Unpacking emotional trauma, baggage, getting your life situation in order, decent finances, becoming very grounded and solidified in your core values as a person. Like, what do you bring to the table? All of this is work to be done. But it's part of the journey. Like, don't beat yourself up because you are not there yet. Like, I'm at a certain stage in my journey, but so are you. But we both have the right to just be and be pretty goddamn happy and content as we are today. It doesn't matter if you're some homeless guy at the bottom of the barrel working his way up. It doesn't matter if it's your first day sober. It doesn't matter if you just got a divorce and you're at rock bottom. It sucks. There's pains, and there will always be pains in life. And that's the thing, guys, is that happiness, and I think happiness is probably not the right word for this. Happiness is an emotion. It goes and it comes. It's not a permanent thing, but it becomes a very consistent thing when you allow yourself to just be as you are today. Accept everything, the bullshit, the flaws, the insecurities, who you are today. That doesn't mean you don't have a plan. That doesn't mean you don't try and figure out the road you need to take to become the version of you you're trying to grow into or adapt to. Or maybe you have done the work, and maybe you're someone like me who feels pretty complete. Like, I feel like I'm the man I was always destined to be right now in this moment. And that doesn't mean I'm perfect, because I'm far from perfect. But that realization and just understanding how imperfect you are, ironically, makes you feel kind of perfect, because it's like, hey, I am what I am. I have my flaws. I have my insecurities, but they don't bother me because, Everybody has them, and it's just who I am. This is the vessel I'm playing this game of life as, and man, I'm going to have a pretty good fucking life. And a cool way to think about this is just pretend this was like years ago, like eons before you even existed. And you don't have to be spiritual, but just go ahead and entertain this idea for me. And I like this idea a lot because I just heard it on a recent podcast. Pretend there's some omnipotent, super spiritual, ethereal being up in the heavens or space or whatever. And they came up to you as like just this little essence of what you are today, like just a soul. And they're like, hey, there's this planet called Earth. You can go there and you can like live. You'll get a random body with random thoughts, random mindsets, but you can go play this game of life for a couple of years until you have to die and then come back. Do you want to go play? I can guarantee you 100% of you guys would say, yes, why not? Let's go live this life game. So I think when I get bummed and I feel like things aren't really like working out, or I'm just like, man, this kind of sucks, it's really refreshing to think of life that way. Like, hey, I'm going to make the most of life where I am as I am today. I'm not going to compare myself to other people. There's no point, because everyone's completely different, and comparing yourself to people won't do you any good, because we all have the right to define what a good life is for us. I'll repeat that one more time. We all have the right to define what a good life is for us. Not what your friends say, not what your parents say, not what society says, not what the universe says, not what Sammy Stark here on YouTube says. You get to decide. And if for you it's being broke with like no money, but you're living it up every day, surfing on a beach in Bali, then hell yeah, more power to you. Maybe some of you guys want to be millionaires, then hey, more power to you. Or maybe some of you guys are okay with just living the simple life like me, I've got enough money to do what I want to do, get by, pay rent, got a little bit stashed up, but I don't feel like I need an abundance or a crazy amount of money. Like, I'm just really happy as I am today. And I get to say what a good life is for me. Not nobody else. Nobody else. And it's so relieving, because it's just like, hey, just be. Nobody gets to set the parameters for your life and what a good existence is. You get to choose that. You are the storyteller. You are the creator. Don't compare yourself to other people, because it's basically like comparing the color blue to the color red. They're different. It doesn't matter what red's doing. You're going to be blue. And it doesn't matter what blue's doing. Red can't change from red to blue. That's literally when you try to compare yourself to other people. It's like blue, red, purple, neon, a rock, a carpet. It doesn't mesh, guys. We're so different. Each individual one of us has so many different experiences and qualities and traits. But that should make you love yourself. You should appreciate who you are as you are. It doesn't matter. Short, fat, big, small, ugly, handsome, get chatted out. Like, just appreciate the vessel that you have today, because it's your vessel. It's who you are. Yeah, work on it. Of course. I said you can work on it. But you don't have to be miserable as you are today because you haven't hit a certain benchmark. So guys, I hope you found some massive value in this video. And I think there's something else I wanted to talk about. Give me a second. Okay, guys. So in summary, basically, it's that simple. Just be as you are today. There is no reason to ever compare yourself to anybody. Regret, that's what I had forgot to talk about. So I'll talk about it real quick now. Regret doesn't even deserve to be a word, because anything you regret in life, I can 100% guarantee you, if I sent you back in time to that exact moment, but the trade-off is you go back to that same moment as you were in that moment without the knowledge you've acquired since then, because that wouldn't make sense and that wouldn't be fair, and life just doesn't work that way. You would 100% make the same decision or mistake that you made in that moment. So there's no point in us ever regretting anything. That's how we learn, but regret has no place in the vocabulary, because if we knew better for any past situation, we would have done better. 100%, all of us. And if we went back in time with what we knew then, we would make the same mistake time and time again. And it's just like baffles me that people get stuck and lost in like this idea of regret. But there's nothing to regret, guys. It wasn't meant to be. Things have played out the way they were always meant to play out. So my friends, let's summarize again. Just be where you are today. Don't regret anything. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else. Blue is not red. Red is not blue. You are the storyteller. You are the creator. You define what the parameters of a good life are for you. 5, you have goals and ambitions and dreams that you can go for, but remember that none of them are required for you to feel joy and contentment today where you're at on your journey. Everything else is a bonus. A way I like to look at life these days is life is good. I'm complete. I've played the game. I've enjoyed the game. I'm grateful for all my experiences I've had thus far. Every day moving forward from this point is a bonus. And I don't have to reach any certain benchmark. I don't have to be any kind of version of myself. I can change and grow and play this game of life the way I see fit in any given moment. And it's because I set those rules for myself, not anybody else. And you have the power to do the same for your life, guys. So, my friends, love your story. Appreciate where you're at today. All of you. The flaws, the insecurities, the things you're trying to change, the fact that you're not where you want to be yet, the fact that you haven't achieved your dreams yet, the fact that you just are who you are. Guys, love it. Embrace it. That's exactly who you're meant to be. You're where you're meant to be. Always believe that because it's true. Like, where else would you be?
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way.